And with 100% buyer guarantee and over 100 million tickets sold, that's something to sing, laugh, cheer, scream, buy about. Head to vividseats.com for terms and conditions. Vivid Seats. Life happens live.
Mike Greenberg, Greene.
This transfer portal that all the coaches are complaining about right now, oh, this is so terrible. Every single coach, whoever kept a player from transferring who had very reasonable reasons to want to, and said, well, you can transfer, but I'm going to eliminate from your list of possible places to go this school and that school, and you can't transfer in the conference, and you can't go to someone we deem a rival, or we can't do this or that. Exercising a degree of control over a kid's life for no good reason except the fact that you can, you're to blame for this. Or at minimum, I'm delighted it's now happening to you. Delighted. Because when you do that to a young person, you have to recognize the jerk in it is you. Let these kids go play where they want to play if they want to. The idea that you put restrictions on it the way you did when you didn't have to was always completely unfair and unreasonable. And so now you deserve the wild, wild west that it has become.
Greene with Mike Greenberg. Weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio. And watch exclusively on ESPN Plus.
Packer and Durham.
Come on in. Have a chat.
Star Power coming your way. Mario Cristobal joins us, Coach. Welcome to the ACC.
Miami is going to play the brand of football that's going to make everybody proud.
Pull up a chair.
Hubert Davis, coach of the Tar Heels.
I'm so proud of how tough and resilient this group has been.
Commissioner in person with us? Really?
Where else would I want to be than with you guys this morning?
Packer and Durham. Weekdays 7 to 10 a.m. Eastern on ACCN and streaming live on the ESPN app.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
Rick DiPietro, ESPN hockey analyst.
In the NFL, guys eat stuff in the locker room at halftime. They'll eat it on the sidelines, too. Remember Mark Sanchez was eating a hot dog on the sideline?
I actually had a situation in Montreal where I didn't sit on the bench because the bench was too small, so I sat in the hallway. And Montreal is famous for their hot dogs. So they used to have a big plate of hot dogs down by the locker room. So I'm sitting there hanging out. Don't think I'm going to play. So I'm like, hey, I'll take a couple of those hot dogs. Hey, can you go get me a popcorn, maybe a pretzel? I got my Diet Coke, hanging out watching the game. And then guess what happens? Hey, Rick, get your stuff. You're in. I'm like, what? So I'm scrambling. I got mustard on my jersey. My helmet's off, hanging off sideways. A disaster. I was fully immersed in the game, and it was early on in the second period. And Uncle Rick thought, hey, it's a good idea to maybe just release some tension here. And little did I realize that there was more than a little bit of tension coming out.
Key, J, and Max, followed by Greene. Mornings on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
All episodes now streaming on ESPN Plus. Man in the Arena, Tom Brady. 22 seasons.
We outworked you. And when the chance came, we outwilled you.
10 Super Bowl appearances.
He had one goal in mind. Go and win Super Bowls.
Tom Brady like you've never heard him. Featuring Tom Brady's three sisters, Gisele Bündchen, Tom Brady Sr., Rob Gronkowski, Michael Strahan, and more. All episodes now streaming on ESPN Plus. Presented by Under Armour.
The Hoop Collective Podcast.
David Griffin going on the record saying this is going to be difficult. I think the way the Pelicans finished this season, and look, they gave the Suns all they could handle. I think that gave the Pelicans some leverage here. But they've got some things that they can do with this roster that are independent of Zion. And, of course, they're going to be better with him. They want him. They want him in. But I don't think they're offering a 5-year max.
The Hoop Collective Podcast. Listen on the ESPN app or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Smell ready for a ball.
You do smell good.
Thanks, Kyle.
Get Old Spice Dry Spray with Walmart Pickup.
Hey guys, there is some important news that all men should take very seriously. Your prostate health. Are you urinating more frequently? Are you waking up at night to urinate? Are you sick and tired of prostate pills that just don't work? Sound familiar? If you are one of the millions of men with prostate problems that are driving you nuts, there is some great news. Prosthogenics is the all-natural product that beat over 157 other prostate supplements in lab tests and was rated the #1 most powerful prostate supplement in the world. #1, because it works. So why not try some Prosthogenics, and your prostate troubles will be a thing of the past. You'll get a great night's sleep and stop waking up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. To get your free bottle of Prosthogenics, call now, 800-600-2020. That's 1-800-600-2020. Take advantage of our 90-day money-back guarantee. Call 800-600-2020. Do it now.
You can't get much for $5 these days. Unless you go to Wendy's for a $5 Biggie Bag. Get your choice of double stack, junior bacon cheeseburger, or crispy chicken BLT. Plus 4-piece nugs, fries, and a drink. All for just $5. That was smooth, wasn't it? That's how you're going to feel when you get that Biggie Bag at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Includes 4-piece nuggets, small soft drink, and small fry. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
Not looking too promising for Grizzlies point guard Ja Morant to play in Game 4 of their second-round NBA playoff series against the Warriors tonight. He is listed as doubtful due to right knee soreness. Memphis certainly would miss Morant, but the team did go 20-5 in the regular season without him, points out Grizzlies TV analyst Brevin Knight.
Everyone raises their game up another level, but they also, you start to see it be a more team-oriented because, like anybody, when you have a star like Ja, when things aren't going well, easily you say, oh, give him the ball, he'll make it right. Well, he's not out there, so now everyone else has to make it right. We have to depend on each other a lot more.
Brevin Knight on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Game 4, 9:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio. Former Michigan State star Adrian Payne, the 15th overall pick in the 2014 NBA draft, was shot and killed in Orlando, Florida early this morning. He was 31 years old. A man has been arrested for the shooting. NHL Islanders fired coach Barry Trotz. GM Lou Lamoriello said the team needs a new voice. NFL, the Giants released quarterback James Bradbury after failing to find a trade partner.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
Now your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Fun. That's fun. Enter it on our station website now.
Log on to ESPNABL.com.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, two men, one journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit. Let's go! Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app and seen everywhere on YouTube. Go to thesportsocracy.com. Don't forget to click on that live video link and subscribe to the channel as we are back. And, better than ever.
HWA is completely glad that we're back so I can stop talking to her about all the things that are managing to irritate me.
We're looking a little different now on the YouTube stream. I like the way it looks.
It took a lot more effort than I was planning. It took more of the week off than I ever could have thought that it would.
And you're going to like the way we look. We guarantee it.
Oh, stop that. They pay us $0. We give them no free love.
Hey, I didn't say the name. I just used the tagline. I'll steal a tagline. Speaking of taglines, low prices, love the savings. We always come to you from the Ingles Studio. Ingles Supermarkets, low prices, love the savings. And, yes, don't forget to join us on the YouTube stream. New, and they got the live chat right there in the middle of the screen and everything. It's got lots of bells and whistles.
There's a lot more. I just, it's 3 o'clock.
We're running out of time.
I've been here since 7. I walked in and Eddie and Amanda Fox looked at me like, why are you here so early?
Yeah.
Well, I got a lot of things to do. I spent enough time at the Harris Cherokee Casino while we were. Man, that place is fantastic.
I have still not been out to the sports book, but I understand, and I saw your pictures as well. It's a pretty phenomenal place to be.
The sports book was phenomenal. I met new friends. I mean, the sports book is one place that you rest assured that Jeremy is going to find like-minded individuals that are into the same things that he is. You watch Chris Paul on a 900-foot, I don't know how big that screen is.
Yeah.
It's as big as a residential building, I can tell you that much.
Like an IMAX screen.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Nice. Like that. We've already got
between the $10 Cinco de Mayo Margs and NBA and NHL playoffs. Woo!
Good time was
Fun time.
Yeah, good time.
Fun time.
We already have a super chat.
We do. I don't have a button yet.
How about that?
That'll work.
Today is actually my birthday. This from Tyler Cunningham. It says, having you guys back is the best gift of the day. Well, welcome back and happy birthday to you, Tyler.
Happy birthday. We're using this as your birthday gift is us being back, too.
Indeed.
I can't do more than a week off.
No.
I have gotten progressively angrier about everything NBA over the course of the last 5 days, and the only person I had to yell about it to was HWA and the concierge of the hotel.
And HWA could care less.
Oh, yeah, about the NBA, yeah. Yeah, she's locked in on Kenny Pickett being her new quarterback. Doesn't really care about Chris Paul.
Well, we'll talk about the Chris Paul thing. We'll get into other NBA notes as well. Yes, as you heard in the top of the hour Sports Center update, doesn't look like John Morant's going to play tonight for the Memphis Grizzlies. So does that spell trouble for the Grizzlies against the Golden State Warriors?
You'll have to wait till the end of the hour because that's actually my favorite pick of the night.
Okay. Jeremy's Green on Greene coming up at the end of the hour. We got the 5 on it coming up in the next hour as well. And what a weekend it was. Jeremy, the degenerate gambler of the group, did you have anything on Rich Strike to win the Kentucky Derby?
No. I'm still angry about it.
Why? Nobody saw that coming.
I had a win play show that I was so confident about. You know how many of them placed?
None of them?
0. Not one of them.
You didn't even have the betting favorite?
Epicenter, I did not.
Okay.
I did not.
Okay.
And the thing that makes me angry, the race went exactly how I thought it would. Except for where the horses finished, which is the only thing that really matters.
Gotcha. So it was a lot of
it was
dirt,
fast.
A lot of horses.
Really fast.
Really fast.
Next year, I am all the way in seersucker suit. I want to do the Derby somewhere. I saw a lot of people really get involved in the Derby.
Yeah.
It's one that I've just never. I'm so bad at horse wagering. I'm not an animal person. Okay.
Who's shocked? Mr. I'm afraid of squirrels.
Well, hey.
Upwards of 17. Go ahead.
Upwards of 17 people a year are killed in squirrel attacks. I was almost maimed by a turkey on the last day I was here. So.
Oh, and I was so upset that I was not here for that.
Oh, I've been hyper vigilant outside. I know that turkey. It smelled my fear, and it knows it's going to be able to finish me off at some point.
Right. We also had, UFC over the weekend. Did you watch on Saturday night?
No.
Did you see the knockout of the century?
I saw that. But
Holy
for me,
smokes.
when the stupidest thing I think in all of sports is you missed weight, so one of you can win the title, but the other one can't.
Right.
So why am I supposed to care? Because I had, let's say I had a doubloon or two on Oliveira.
Good for you.
And by a doubloon or two, I mean however many you think it is, multiply that by 3.5.
The highlight of the night on Saturday night, though, was Michael Chandler just knocking the crap out of Tony Ferguson.
I think he might actually know what happened about nowish.
Right. I mean, he knocked his brain through the back of his skull. One of the best kick knockouts I've seen.
Well, hey, you got the highlight of the weekend wrong because I'm including today as part of the weekend.
Oh, okay. Oh, it was
my 2022 NBA MVP Nikola Jokic.
Oh man, I want to be mad about it, but I can't.
You can't be mad about that.
You look at Nikola Jokic and what he's had to deal with the Denver Nuggets this year, with no Jamal Murray, no Michael Porter Jr. He carried that team on his back the entire season. It's hard to be mad. I am a little miffed that it wasn't Joel Embiid. I have told you since we started MVP talk.
Yeah, and I told you. Guess what's going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
My friend Nikola is going to win this award, and he should. The sheer fact he took that team to the playoffs is dumbfounding. And look, I wouldn't have been mad if it was Embiid. It would not have. That's not how I would have voted. Nikola Jokic does things that just nobody else does.
Right.
And look, I get the Embiid Batman whatever that mask is.
Oh, I loved it.
I'm reasonably sure that was the reject from when The Undertaker wore his mask.
I did love his response after he came back in the playoffs and said nobody cared until I put the mask on.
Yeah, did you see the response from Jimmy Butler?
Butler's response was great. Screw your mask.
Yeah,
not in those words.
Yeah, he said words that we can't say.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing that's so stupid to me is that the NBA waits until now to put out the winner. You open yourself up to, well, Nikola Jokic is out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the problem. That doesn't mean anything.
Right.
This was voted on
award
3 weeks ago.
Right.
Just put it out when it happens, and nobody will be talking about this. You could not possibly have had an objection 3 weeks ago.
No.
Then the Golden State Warriors just smoked my 20 sometime
3
NBA champion. Nah, I'm not even going 3.
Really?
I'm not sure
yet.
Michael Porter Jr. is ever going to be healthy again. So.
And he's not there yet, folks. He's not ready to declare them the 2023 NBA champions.
Might have a futures bet on it though.
I'm sure that you do. And I can't begrudge you from that because I still feel like that is a damn good team if they were at full health. If they get Jamal Murray back, Michael Porter Jr., and of course, the 2-time back-to-back NBA MVP, Nikola Jokic. The 3rd international player to win multiple MVPs, and they've all done it back-to-back.
And he's also the first one to ever – he's the first player to ever win an MVP when his draft announcement happened during a Taco Bell commercial.
When he was drafted in the 2nd round.
He's so good. I knew when I saw it announced this morning, I knew there was going to be pushback that, it should have been Embiid, it should have been Giannis. No, it shouldn't.
Of course there. I mean, because there are so many people that believe that Nikola Jokic is overrated. I'm not one of them.
Those people are insane.
But
I think he's the most grossly underrated player in any sport in the world. That team was bad.
Mm-hmm.
But with him, you get to the playoffs and you never threatened the Warriors.
Right.
My biggest takeaway from our time off, I have no idea who's going to win the NBA Finals. No clue.
Really?
I don't even have a favorite at this point.
I think Milwaukee is my favorite at the moment.
And they could get smoked tonight, and I would not be shocked.
They could. But this is what happens when you get down to this stage of the NBA playoffs. And you've got 8 teams who all have a really good argument.
Oh, you don't have 8.
Okay.
You don't have 8. I think you struggle to get to 5, but
okay.
I'm just not as in love with Boston as everybody else seems to be. They're so inconsistent.
They are inconsistent, but that's the thing. You can be inconsistent and still win.
The funny thing is that all of these series,
out of the 7.
Every one of these series has taken a backseat to Dallas and Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
That is the best, and it's not even close. I've watched every second of that series, which I did not think you could get me to do in a second-round NBA playoff series. But Luka Doncic is all of the things you could ever heap upon a player.
Mm-hmm.
He's the best player in the NBA, and I don't think it's all that close.
Really?
And he's just got this old man at the gym game where it doesn't look good. Game 2 was insane. And Chris Paul. Chris Paul just doing Chris Paul-y things.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday was I could argue that's the worst I've ever seen a superstar player play in a playoff game. He was irrelevant.
Scored 5 points in 23 minutes.
And fouled out.
I
could argue that they were better when he was off the floor than they ever thought about being when he was on it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a problem. I would argue the Suns are the best team left in the playoffs right now.
Okay.
Their best is better than anybody else's best. The problem is I haven't seen it in so long that I've forgotten what it looks like.
Right.
And there's something up with Devin Booker. I just can't figure out what it is. I don't think he's hurt, but there is something going on with him.
All right, so you said there are 5. There are 5 championship level teams left in these playoffs. So you got Phoenix, you got Golden State, you got Philadelphia, you got Milwaukee. Who's the 5? Miami's
just the most consistent.
Okay.
I'm not saying their good's as good as anybody else's, but their bad is better than. I mean, I've seen every one of these teams look terrible.
Right. I can't see Miami getting past Philadelphia in this round.
Oh, I can. Okay, I'm going to give you an old gambler secret, and I'm really glad that I didn't get this pushed through last night. Halftime, I see the score. I think Philadelphia was up by 8. They were shooting 55% from 3 and 64% from the field. That is not sustainable at all.
All right, wait a minute. I just saw this in the comments on the YouTube stream. Matthew Hoffman, we're going to need an explanation. He said, hey, I was attacked by a squirrel.
It's upwards of 17 people. They are the silent killers in the trees.
We got to figure that out. JT Money says the NBA needs something for people to hang on to for its first round of the playoffs. So that's why they wait on
That's the only explanation I have. Because
which is
every ounce of criticism that you could possibly heap on the Jokic thing comes from what happened in the first round of the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like you set yourself – but the NBA does this. We're going to talk about the Chris Paul and his family thing later in the show.
Yeah.
The NBA just can't seem to get out of its own way. You have one of the most popular teams in the league in Golden State that I think has – I'm not going to say distanced themselves. They look like the favorite in the West.
Mm-hmm.
I, with bated breath, would be waiting to watch them play Phoenix. And we don't even talk about it. Every single night, it's the officials or the fans or somebody gluing themselves to the court. Or why is that? Why does every sport but the NFL have this problem? It's never the play on the floor.
Yeah.
And I would argue you've got 2 series right now that are as good as anything I've seen in the NBA in 5 years. And nobody cares. Or Ja Morant and Dylan Brooks trying to Ja getting killed and Dylan Brooks trying to kill Jordan Poole.
Right.
Every single day, it's something. And I can't figure it out. I think Adam Silver is so smart. I would argue he's the best commissioner in sports.
Mm-hmm.
And yet you cannot find a way to stop the shenanigans. And it's really unfortunate.
Well, the shenanigans sell, though. That's the thing.
No, they don't. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about hard fouls and things like that. That is a narrative that people push. And you know what? And I haven't seen the ratings yet.
Mm-hmm.
I will bet you, in large part, people hear that and immediately reach for the remote. Because nobody cares. Nobody cares about what happened to Chris Paul's family. Now, don't be a jerk. Especially not on Mother's Day.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Okay. But it's so ridiculous to me. Why can you not just make it about the product on the floor? There is so much noise around the NBA, and it just never seems to stop.
Mine is the fatigue. That's my thing about it. Like, when something controversial happens, it's really the only time that it comes to the forefront for me. It's like baseball. It's the same thing with baseball. Whenever there's controversy in baseball, that's what we're going to talk about. But I think it plays into too many games. These series are just way too long.
Well, the playoffs are insanely too long.
Right.
I've said that for years.
Right.
The first round should be 3 games max.
See, right now, like, I'll be honest with you, since we were off, I mean, I was watching, in and out kind of thing. But now, second round of the playoffs, we got 2 series tied at 2 games apiece. Now they become 5-game series. Now I'm locked in.
3.
Or 3-game series, excuse me.
Yeah.
Now I'm locked in.
But
now
why?
I'm here.
Is there really anything that you don't see how it's going to go? I will go out on a limb here and say I could pick all 4 series winners, and I would bet my house on it.
All right.
We'll do it after the break.
Okay, we'll do it after the break. Jeremy will pick his winners
because
we sit here 2 games apiece in the first 2 series that have gone to Game 4. Game 4 is tonight with the Golden State Warriors and the Memphis Grizzlies and the Milwaukee Bucks and the Boston Celtics. We could have 4 2-2 series by the end of tonight. Jeremy says he knows what's going to happen, so we'll get into it up next, right here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, some warmer numbers coming into the forecast here by tomorrow. We made the 70s today. We'll make the 80s tomorrow and Wednesday. Later this week, have an area of low pressure that backs in off the Atlantic and brings some showers in Thursday night and Friday for the late week forecast here. 43 degrees in the valley tonight. Sunshine tomorrow, high of 80 degrees. Sunshine Wednesday, 81. I'm meteorologist Scott Laurie. More, that's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by T.P. Howard Plumbing.
Hey, this is Josh Howard with T.P. Howard's Plumbing. T.P. Howard's Plumbing and Blue Ridge Community College have teamed up to start a plumbing apprenticeship program. Earn while you learn. Go to blueridge.edu to sign up, or you can call T.P. Howard's Plumbing at 628-1369. That's 628-1369.
Don't go through another summer with that awful joint pain. Call QC Kinetics now. That pain in your back, your knees, your shoulder, it can now be treated with the latest in precision medicine using natural biologics, growth factors that can restore and repair damaged tissue. Really exciting stuff here. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, giving you access right here to this modern-day joint pain solution. You can get lasting joint pain relief with no drugs, no steroids, no downtime, and no surgery. You've heard Emmett Smith raving about QC Kinetics. You've read or seen other high-profile people talking about it. Regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics can help you get your life back. Take action now. Get a free consultation. Powerful, effective joint pain treatments with natural biologics are here. Call QC Kinetics now. 828-333-9517 in Asheville and in Greenville. 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517.
iHeartRadio Earth is here with little tips for a healthier planet. A staggering 8 million tons of plastic ends up in the world's oceans every year. If current trends continue, our oceans could contain more plastic than fish by 2050. Do your part. Purchase items made from renewable or recycled content and recycle whenever possible. Brought to you by iHeartRadio Earth and the National Environmental Education Foundation. To find more tips for smarter, sustainable living or to take action in your own community, go to iHeartRadio.com/earth.
Okay, let's start unloading the sod over here.
The grass is always greener when Haruka's Lawn Care does the mowing.
And then we want to get the flower bed started before lunch.
They need a new landscaping designer to keep their budding business growing.
Oh, can we double check the incline here? This one needs to drain this way.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Did you know select Ingles markets now offer curbside service? Shopping has never been easier with all the quality and service you expect from Ingles. Visit Ingles-markets.com to find a store near you and start shopping.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at RogueCombatClub.com.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I am Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The Sportsocracy.
Gets the rebound, passes it to the man, shoots it, and boom goes the dynamite.
Back in the Ingles Studio here on ESPN Asheville, I'm Tank Spencer. He is Jeremy Greene, and he believes he knows exactly how the playoffs are going to unfold here as we sit with a couple of tied series, and we got two 2-1 series that could be tied after tonight. Jeremy's Green on Green picks will be coming up at the end of the hour. The 5 on it in the next hour. Your chance to win some doubloons with our good friends at BetUs.com. Don't forget to use that promo code Sportsocracy when you go to BetUs.com. Get that 125% deposit bonus on whatever you put in, up to $2,500. So
I've also added the ability to do hockey. That was one of the takeaways from Harrah's Cherokee Casino was, yeah, I can do hockey.
Okay.
I had a 5-way parlay in hockey.
Good for
First
you.
ticket I've ever put in hockey, I think, in my
now,
life.
Wait a minute. Armchair commentary.
Nope.
Canada fed those to you, did he not?
It was the day before.
Oh.
He didn't get back to me in time, so I went to my own devices. 7 marks deep.
And he just went dart throwing at the board.
And he threw me a 5-way the next night that hit 4 of 5 legs.
Nice. Nice. All right. Well, so are we going to be looking forward to some NHL picks coming up in the Green on Green?
Not today, but there will be as we move forward. I was trying to add new things to myself. Right. I did learn I cannot do baseball.
All right, Flostradamus. Let's see if you got your you got your future seeing goggles on. Phoenix and Dallas. How you see that 2-2 series panning out?
There is no way Dallas can beat Phoenix with Luka by himself, and that's exactly what they are.
I agree.
This is exactly what they are.
I agree.
Game 2, Luka did everything in his power to win that game.
Mm-hmm.
Fouls start ringing up, and I'm not going to lie. I that is live betting 101. I think I had 43 slips in my pocket by the end of that.
Right.
Every time it went down a point, I went back to the window.
I mean, when you have a great superstar on your team, you got a chance to win, no doubt. But unless you have that secondary player have an amazing night. Well, they do, but it's
Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson sometimes. Last night it was Dorian Finney-Smith. You have to have that outlier.
They just don't have that consistent. If games get really offensive, it's too easy to figure out what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Luka has to be perfect. So now you're where you're at now. I don't see any way they can contend with or that they can beat Phoenix twice.
Okay.
I don't see it.
All right. 2-1. Warriors up on the Grizzlies.
No shot with it. Ja Morant not being 105%, they have no prayer. They can keep it close.
Mm-hmm.
They can't win.
Yeah.
There's no shot.
All right. Miami, Philadelphia, 2-2 series.
Philadelphia's won 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
They had to play out of their minds in both of them. And Miami was, I'm not going to say bad. They weren't good. And that's what it took for them to win. I don't see a chance they beat Miami in this series.
Really?
There's too many ways that Miami can beat you. I mean, you got to realize they've had a couple players that have been completely irrelevant in this series. Mm-hmm. It's still 2-2.
Mm-hmm.
And James Harden looks like he's 906 years old. Oh, he had a great game last night. He had 31 points. Woo. That's what he was supposed to do. And now we're lauding James Harden doing what he was brought in here to do.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, we haven't talked about this. There is not a snowball's chance in Atlanta I would pay him if I was Philadelphia. No shot.
No.
I'll roll with Tyrese Maxey.
Right.
I'm good. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Now, it seems like a bit of a tangent for you because you were to the point where you believed that this was going to work. That they were going to win a championship with these two.
I did, and because I thought James Harden was just in a slump.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is who he is. The burst is gone. He looks like he's aged 10 years in the last 6 months.
Right.
And now him doing what he's supposed to is, oh, look how great he was. No, that was what he was supposed to be. If you had told me there would be a game in this series where there was no Joel Embiid, I would have said James Harden minimum scored 35 points and his usage rate was 40%. He scored 22 and his usage rate was like 22%.
Right.
He can't do it.
See, I'm on the other side of you on this one. I think Philadelphia will win this series.
I don't.
because to me,
and I would argue that's the one I'm the most confident in. Too.
So far, Miami to me has been mostly Jimmy Butler. And Jimmy can't play every minute.
No,
and in
but
the
they've still
minutes that
got
he's
more.
not on the floor, they are getting beat.
Yeah, but not as much as you think.
22 points.
That was one
22
game.
points when he's not on the floor.
Yeah, go back and look at the other 3 games in the series. It's not nearly that drastic.
Okay.
And you get Danny Greene away from him, and it is brutal.
What is the deal with Duncan Robinson? Why is Duncan Robinson not playing?
Because he couldn't defend my cell phone. It's weird how players like that. Him and Tyler Hero.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Hero is one of those guys that's either a hero or a zero. He scores 25 points or 6, and there is no in between.
Right. All right, and the final one, Milwaukee, Boston. Milwaukee up 2-1.
I see no way Milwaukee doesn't win this series. I mean, you got to realize they've been this much, in large part, this much better than Boston with no Chris Middleton.
Yeah.
Really? And I go back to this is all about the Nets. The only reason people are looking at Boston the way they are is because they beat the Nets.
Mm-hmm.
And people do not want to release that narrative that they were wrong.
Not that they just beat them, that they swept them.
Because they're bad. Right. And as a Hornets affiliate, I have to say this out loud and get it on record. Please don't hire Mike D'Antoni. I don't ask much, but please don't hire Mike D'Antoni.
All right, so we got Flosterdamus's finals. The conference finals are going to be Phoenix and the Warriors.
Which that's what I thought that would be from Jump Street.
And you got Milwaukee and the Heat.
That's pretty much what I thought that would be from Jump Street. Miami could just beat you in too many different ways. They're the only team I look at in these playoffs and go, they can beat you defensively. Boston can at times. Milwaukee can at times. But consistently, I like Miami more than I think anybody I've heard.
Yeah, I would say you're right.
It has taken two unbelievably either bad nights from Milwaukee or outrageously good from Philadelphia. They shot 55% from the floor last night and won by 8 in a game that Miami looked like they just met each other when they got off the team plane at home.
But does that not speak to their inconsistency?
No, because that's the only game they've really done that. I don't see it. And look, I think Philadelphia is more talented. I just think this Harden, Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and I like Maxey and I like Embiid, but I don't love James Harden. Fat James Harden just doesn't do anything for me.
So really going to be another question, Mark, on the Doc Rivers resume.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
All right. Yesterday was also a big day in the racing world. It wasn't the Darlington race that I want to talk about, though, in NASCAR. Joey Logano getting the win in South Carolina. But it was Formula One. Formula One was down in Miami. And something happened there that I thought was absolutely hilarious. Did you see Martin Brundle, former Formula One racer who is now he's now a analyst or a reporter for Sky Sports, and he went chasing through the crowd trying to find celebrities, and he found Patrick Mahomes, and he's trying to chase him down. He's, Patrick, come here, Patrick. The guy wasn't responding. Finally, he talked to Patrick Mahomes, and he's asking him how he thought about the race and all of that, and well, it turned out that it was not Patrick Mahomes. It was actually Paolo Banchero. To the
How do you miss that?
I
There's
don't
a
know.
7-inch difference in it. This is
Bingo.
like people that think I'm Luke Combs.
Yeah.
Like, look, I get that we look alike. You do realize I am drastically taller than him, right? And he has a lot more expensive clothing than I do.
Yeah, he's interviewing him, and he's asking him about the race. He's like, this is great. It's my first Formula One event, and I can't believe all the stars are out here, and these guys are really locked in. You know, I think it plays a lot into how I play my game. And he was like, I actually don't know who you are. What's your name? And Paolo said, Paolo Banchero. And he goes, oh, well, no wonder you didn't say anything when I said Patrick, because you're not him. Yes, Patrick, while they may have similar skin tone and hairdos, they are not the same. And Patrick Mahomes is 6'3".
Paolo Banchero is 6'11".
6'10". Yeah.
I will never understand that. How do you not look at how tall somebody is? How many quarterbacks in the NFL do you think are 6'10"?
Although Martin Brundle did pawn that off on the guys in the truck. He said, I'm getting some bad information in my ear. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We'll see.
Tom Peake is an 82-year-old avid golfer.
Okay.
And he just lived my dream. I have been playing golf for 20 years. I have never made a hole-in-one. And neither had he before Wednesday. Now he's made 2 of them. Because he did it in a course of 3 holes. He was playing at the Royal Palm Golf Club. Made an ace on the 91-yard number 5, and 3 holes later followed it up with an ace on the 112-yard number 8.
Those seem really short.
That would be because he's 82 years old. So he was playing from the senior tees, which are much shorter.
Okay, I was like...
I don't care if he did this from off the green. Had never made an ace in his life, did it twice in 3 holes.
Good for him.
That is tremendous. He was a retired Air Force second lieutenant that said he has played the game for over 50 years He has a 2 handicap, so he's actually pretty good. And my takeaway from this was that guy's old enough to be my grandfather, and I'm reasonably sure he would beat me up one side of a golf course and down the other.
Probably so.
Mark Starling came to me this morning and said, we need to go play golf. Yes, we do.
Yes.
I don't care if we go play in a cow pasture. I am in.
I heard Mark got a new set of golf clubs the other day.
I
can't imagine him as a golfer.
I mean, can you imagine me as one?
Yeah, not really.
The 6'5", defensive end-looking guy with the Yeti beard and the mullet. How many weird looks do you think I get in country clubs?
Oh, a bunch.
What's fun is usually I get those weird looks and somebody goes, I want to play with that guy. Okay, 100 a hole.
You better be careful who you make that wager with.
Oh, I've already had one very unfortunate because I did the same thing to somebody else. I looked at their clubs that I think were made about the time that our 82-year-old double acer here started playing golf. Mm-hmm. And that guy smoked me like a honey ham.
See, don't judge a book by its cover or its clubs.
Yeah, it didn't go my way.
We had another controversy in the NBA playoffs last night as the Phoenix Suns were taking on the Dallas Mavericks in Dallas, and apparently there was contact made with Chris Paul's wife and mother in the stands. I didn't see, and I don't know that I haven't seen any footage of the actual contact that was made, but I did see the response from Chris Paul. And when I first saw it and it started going viral last night, I was like, why is Chris Paul yelling at a 12-year-old? Because it's exactly how old this kid looks to me. Some kid wearing a Luka Doncic jersey. And
shocker.
Chris is just...
Grown man in public wearing a jersey. Who's shocked that that's the meatball that felt the urge to shove Chris Paul's mother?
I don't think it's a grown man. I mean, if it's the one that they were escorting out, he did not look like a grown man to me. He looked like he was about 13 years old at best. He was a tall kid. Well, he looked very, very nubile. How about that?
I am 100% with Charles Barkley.
Okay.
Did you hear his response?
I did not.
I'll give you the quote. Hey, we could put an end to all this stuff. Some of the stuff these fans say, let's take it right down to center court for 5 minutes. I've always said that, and I agree with you 100%.
Or we're going to have, like, the fight cage?
We don't need a cage. I got news for you. You shove my mother or my wife, there is not... The Almighty himself could not protect you from me. Mm-hmm. I promise you that. Mm-hmm. And Chris Paul basically said the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
This has gotten insane.
He just kept shouting, I'll see you later. I'll see you later.
This has gotten to an insane point. How in the world does the NBA not have any control over its fans to the point of, do you realize how many times we've done this in one playoff? This is the 9th game that has had some form of fan interaction that became the story.
Mm-hmm. Barricades. We need barricades.
Well,
I think we need hockey-style barricades.
Well, you're never going to have that. That's never going to happen. Those seats are too expensive. That's the thing I don't understand. Mm-hmm. How do these meatballs keep getting this close to the floor? There's no way they're paid. I looked how much those seats were. There's no way that kid paid that amount of money. No way. Unless he came with his parents.
With his mom. The woman that he was being escorted out, and there was a woman that was like pushing him back. She looked like it was his mom.
And my question here would be, if that's the case, how in the world does the mother not have better control over her child than that?
Right.
You probably spent $5,000. That's about what I saw those seats cost for a pair, sitting behind the bench. And you're telling me you spent that much money and you can't look at your kid and go, No,
I don't care. I don't care how much revenue the NBA is making off of this.
Well, and that's fine. That's yell at clouds.
And I get
that's
it.
not going to happen.
They got to do something.
When we've said that for years, and they never have. And the reason is because, I'm going to be honest with you, they make about as much off the 5 rows directly around the floor as they do the entire rest of the arena combined. You're not taking that away.
Yeah.
And nobody's paying those prices if you're not right there catching loose balls on the sideline.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
Right.
So that part of it is not going to happen. So let's take a tact here that Oh, I don't know. It makes a little more sense.
Okay.
You're barred forever. You're barred for the rest of your life.
Can't ever go to another NBA
for the rest
game.
of your life. And there's no appeal. You're gone forever.
How do you track that, though? How do you keep somebody from getting tickets on the street and showing up?
Well, and maybe this is just my own personal experience.
Mm-hmm.
You know those big warehouse buildings that don't have any windows and they tend to have blinking lights on the outside? They keep track of it real well. You ever get thrown out of a, let's call it a gentleman's club, you will never make it back in.
To any of them?
Well, to that one specifically.
Well, yeah. Well, see, that's my thought.
Well, I don't think meatball 13-year-old's going to, this was in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's making the trek to Houston.
He very well may. You never know. If his mommy and daddy have enough money to pay for $5,000 per seats, then maybe we just get a new team in Houston and we'll just go follow them.
JT Money said in our comments, did CP3 go all Will Smith and just slap him?
He wanted to.
I think you let that happen one time, it would stop happening.
No.
You let one NBA player. How many NBA players have you met?
This. We've already seen this.
Yeah, and did you notice after Ron Artest went full Mike Tyson, you didn't really have this problem for a few years. Specifically not with him.
Well, no.
Or Steven Jackson or Jermaine O'Neal.
Mm-hmm.
Those dudes will come up here and just jiggle your chiclets if you're not careful.
Right.
And I'm totally in favor of it.
To me, there's a better solution. And
what is it?
And it's barricades.
And I've already told you that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
That's like saying, college football should we get rid of targeting altogether. Well, you're not gonna.
Mm-hmm.
So you can yell at that cloud till you're blue in the face. That's not going to happen.
You got friends and family sections. You've got top end donor
That's
sections.
Where I'm at. Is why are the players' families sitting right there? To me, I've always said that's a bad idea.
And that's fair. It's absolutely fair. But you have to have special clearance to get inside the barricades or something.
Oh, that's
because you wouldn't see that
part
happen.
Is to me that should have happened years ago.
Yeah, because I don't feel like you would see that happen.
I said the same thing with those protesters in Minneapolis. You cannot make me believe they paid $5,000 for tickets that got them in that area.
Right.
There's no way.
Right.
They bought nosebleed seats. They walked down. They saw a hole in the security, and on the floor they were. And that is terrifying to me. Because I'm telling you, you keep doing this, eventually somebody is going to want their 5 minutes of fame, and something's going to end very badly.
Mm-hmm. Now, Chris Paul's mom gets into it with Dorian Finney-Smith's mom. That's a different scenario. But part of me believes that we got to keep those not attached to the team in some major financial way, or friends and family. You got to stay on the other side of the barricades. And those closer seats can still be marked up.
Yeah, not to the same point.
No,
it's just not going to happen.
No, well, of course not. You're not going to have, but you would still be able to make the money off of the CEO of, just use a local group, Ingles Supermarkets, sitting courtside at the Charlotte Hornets. They obviously know who that guy is. They obviously know that he's not going to do anything to jeopardize those seats. More often than not, you will have your outliers here and there. But to me, that's where this has to go. If you're this upset about mingling with the commoners, so to speak, then you got to do something.
Well, and to me, that's not the point. The point is that you're allowing people in here that shouldn't be in here. 13-year-old kid. Okay, I'm looking at the mother. If that's how this went, and I could only gauge so much from this video, if that's the case, Mom, you're barred forever.
Right.
Done. And we're done. You can never get in this arena again. I'll bet you do that 2 or 3 times, it'll stop being a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've let it go to such a point now. And by the way, do you remember, this happened in the week we were off, you remember that thing that I said about comedians when Will Smith went up there and slapped Chris Rock? And I told you, mark my words, somebody's going to get a little aggressive, and it happened to Dave Chappelle.
Oh, yeah. He got his, though.
Yeah, his arm was turned the wrong way.
It was.
Yeah, that, to me, I'll be really honest with you, they should put that up in front of every comedy stage ever.
Yeah.
Rush the stage. This is what happened to the last guy.
Yeah. I saw another clip of a stand-up comedian on stage. I think it was in Las Vegas or something, and the guy was screaming from the back, "I'll come up there and I'll Will Smith you in a heartbeat." And he goes, "You could try it if you want to." And as soon as the kid hit the stage, out came the gun, and the kid was like, "Okay." He was like, "Yeah, see what happens?"
Yeah.
You see what happens. Now, I'm not advocating for NBA players to start carrying guns, because we've learned that that's not a good thing. But
well, here's the thing. Armchair Commentary said this in our YouTube comments. Imagine someone does this on the in football, and Ray Lewis gets a hold of him. That's why you don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
Because here's the thing. That happens probably 50% of the time guys get on the field.
It happened to somebody this past season.
Oh, yeah. And your reward is, I don't know. Let's go. I'll go your team. Yeah. Devin White.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh,
weird how that does not happen.
Right.
It's weird how you never hear these things in the NFL outside of the Mahomes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because they know there's consequences.
Mm-hmm.
There's no consequence in the NBA. You would not, I would not in any way be surprised. This series goes to game 6. We're back in Dallas. That same woman is sitting right behind the bench. Wouldn't shock me at all. Happened in Utah not a year ago. Somebody gets into it with LeBron, they're right back in the same seat the next time the Jazz were playing. If there's no consequences, why would you stop doing it?
Right. Getting physical with somebody's mom, somebody's wife, that's, again, don't be a jerk. Just.
Especially, and the fact you did it on Mother's Day makes it even worse.
True.
I mean, it's bad any day. But doing it on Mother's Day? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you should have gotten yours.
Yeah.
Oh, he's only a 13-year-old kid. Well, play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Right. The NBA has to do something about the fans. I know they don't like my solution.
Well, your solution is just not going to happen. The NBA has too much of a ticket problem.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever looked at the breakdown of how much these seats cost?
No. I'm never going to be able to afford those seats. Of course I have.
Courtside, you're looking several thousands of dollars.
Okay.
Nosebleed, you're looking at several tens of dollars.
And
that's the problem, is that you let Billy Meatball in the arena, and then there's nothing to keep them from getting court level, and it's weird. Dumb people tend to do dumb things.
Right.
That's what this has been in large part. This kid, if he was sitting behind the bench, that's the first one I've seen that was sitting in those expensive seats.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not shocked that it was a kid.
Yeah. Kid got a little handsy, apparently. There were conflicting reports that he punched Chris Paul's wife and pushed his mother. But yeah, again, how can you fault Chris Paul for his reaction to okay,
I can.
I'll see you later.
I'll give you all the credit in the world for not doing what I wanted to do.
Yeah, and then he went back and then he went back and on Twitter basically saying, "Screw this. This is crap. You're going to fine a player for having an interaction, but you're going to do nothing to these fans." Now that's up to Dallas. That's up to the American Airlines arenas or something that they play in. Anyway, it's up to the arena that they play in to be able to come at to say you can't come back anymore. And it also then ends up in how much money do these people have? How much have they invested into this team as to whether or not they'll be able to come back or not? We will have Jeremy's picks of the night in the 2 NBA playoff games coming up this evening. Right after this, Greene on Greene is next on ESPN Asheville.
Did you know Ingles only sells USDA Choice and Prime cuts of meat? Maybe it's time to reward yourself. Our butchers cut all our meat fresh in the store every day. Grass-fed, organic, you name it. Not only that, we'll even cut it to order just the way you like it. And we grind meat fresh in the store multiple times a day. It's all in the bag. That's the best meat in town for the best folks in town. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern
Southern hospitality touch.
Spots are still available for the Brad Johnson Celebrity Golf Classic, Tuesday, June 7th at the Cliffs Walnut Cove.
Hey, this is Super Bowl champion quarterback Brad Johnson. I hope you will support Evelyn Charities and join me for a great round of golf, food, and fun at the Cliffs Walnut Cove on Tuesday, June 7th.
100% of the proceeds go to help those in need right here in Asheville and Western North Carolina through Evelyn Charities. For more information and to get signed up, go to eblencharities.org. That's EBLEN charities.org.
Can't wait to see you.
Hey football fans, I'm Micah Parsons.
And I'm Kyle Pitts.
With new Old Spice dry spray, you can smell ready for anything, on the field or off.
I smell ready for a touchdown.
I smell ready for a pick six.
I smell ready for a max contract.
I smell ready for a ball.
Actually, you do. You do smell good.
Thanks, Kyle.
Smell ready for anything with Old Spice dry spray, available at your local Walmart.
The Winston-Salem Journal called it stolen valor. Madison Cawthorn lied about being accepted to the Naval Academy to get elected. In perpetual pursuit of celebrity, Cawthorn will lie about anything. That's why the Citizen Times calls Cawthorn an attention-seeking embarrassment. Now, Madison Cawthorn starring in Vladimir Putin's state-owned TV. Putin used Cawthorn's outrageous views to defend his evil war crimes. And while Putin slaughtered innocent Ukrainians, Cawthorn voted against sanctioning Putin and banning the Russian oil funding Putin's terror. Worse than helping our enemies, Madison Cawthorn hurts our heroes. Cawthorn's plan cuts veterans' benefits by $80 billion. Devastating cuts to America's finest. It's shameful. Lying, limelight-loving Madison Cawthorn helps our enemies, but hurts our heroes. Results for NC paid for and is responsible for the content of this ad. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.resultsfornc.com.
Okay, let's start unloading the sod over here.
The grass is always greener when Haruka's Lawn Care does the mowing.
And then we want to get the flower bed started before lunch.
They need a new landscaping designer to keep their budding business growing.
Can we double check the incline here? This one needs to drain this way.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
DQ presents the sound of an all-star summer lineup. Leading off, the promising rookie, new Oreo Dirt Pie. On deck, the fan favorite Girl Scout Thin Mints. Summer standouts, Drumstick with peanuts and cotton candy. And batting cleanup, it's you. With your red spoon and 6 summer blizzard flavors, official treat of MLB. All part of the new DQ All-Star Summer Blizzard lineup. DQ? Happy tastes good.
Coffee's for closers only.
Get them the money.
Then when you get the money, you get the power.
That watch costs more than your car.
Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
It feels good to be making gambling picks again. 4 games over 500 after what happened the last week that we were here. I got 4 picks for you in the NBA. First, the Milwaukee Bucks are a 1-point favorite tonight against the Boston Celtics. Over-under is 212.5. I feel like this game is going to be where you see how much better Milwaukee actually is. They don't really have a solution to Giannis Antetokounmpo. Even without Chris Middleton, I still don't care. Jason Tatum wasn't good in the last game. I think he'll be fine tonight. I just haven't seen Boston have one of those games where I see the high side. Take away the Nets series, and go back to what the Nets actually were, not what you thought they were. This one's easy to me. Bucks minus the 1, over 212.5. The Memphis Grizzlies are a 10-point dog tonight at the Golden State Warriors. Over-under is 223. This is going to be a score fest. I think Memphis is going to keep this game much closer. We've talked about the fact that they're not necessarily all that much better when Ja Morant plays versus when he doesn't. The end of the last game made it look worse than it was. Give me the Grizzlies plus 10 over 223.
Do likewise, gents. The money's out there. You pick it up, it's yours. You don't, I got no sympathy for you.
And as always, you can take your wagers to betus.com. Use the promo code Sportsocracy and get a 125% deposit bonus on whatever you put in, up to $2,500. No Ja Morant spells disaster for the Memphis Grizzlies.
And everybody's overvaluing that. Literally any analytical metric that you can look at does not agree with that. And what people are seeing is that after he went out, they just got their doors blown off. Well, of course they did. Now you're mad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you broke the code. I think the Grizzlies are – I don't think they're going to win. I'm not aggressive enough to say that the Grizzlies are going to win tonight, but I think they're going to keep this game close, and I think it's going to be a slugfest.
All right. Well, Phoenix leads the series 2-1. Milwaukee with a 2-1 lead in their series with the Boston Celtics as well. The other two series have been all tied up at 2 games apiece. Maybe we could see the same thing here. If you had to, if you had to wager, we'll have what, one non-tied up series after this?
Yeah, I would say the Bucks are going to be up. No, there'll be 2.
It'll be 2.
I'll have the Bucks will be up 3-1, and the Warriors will be up 3-1.
Okay, all right, and then we'll just have 2 series that are tied up 2-2.
In the NHL, you may have 7 series that are tied at 2-2 after tonight.
Right. I want to thank everybody for your well wishes and your congratulations and all of the inspiration that you are giving me to continue on the path of weight loss with PhD Weight Loss. On Friday, I did the Chamber Challenge 5K. Now, I did not run it. I walked it, obviously, but I was really impressed with myself going through that 5K race and coming through without feeling like I'm going to die at the end of it. Thanks to PhD Weight Loss, I've lost 62 pounds. And I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to keep doing 5Ks because it was actually kind of fun, Jeremy.
This week was one of the things I was most nervous about. How closely can I adhere to this program when I'm on vacation? Because vacation, Jeremy, doesn't have a lot of boundaries, which is how I wound up in the position I was in. But even in a place that had great food options and all the things, there were things that I could eat. I stayed on the plan and actually wound up down a pound on vacation, which I think is the first time I've ever done that. And it's all thanks to the program and the food at PhD Weight Loss.
Well, see, that's what Dr. Ashley Lucas and the folks at PhD Weight Loss do. They teach you how to live within the parameters of the system and to build a sustainable way that you can continue to live healthier throughout your life. You want to live a different life? Give them a call at myphdweightloss.com. That's myphdweightloss.com. All right, we did NBA for the first hour of the program, and that's I think it's a record for us.
Yes, it's football time. I need football things in my life.
We need football back. We've got discussions, of course, coming up in the next hour about the news and the news and other things going on across the NFL, as we've had couple of guys being released today. We've also had one guy determined that he's not going back to his team. Trade talks continuing to linger out there about a couple of players and one owners and some hot water. And
the NFL just continues to show that no matter what they do, it's always right.
It is NFL scheduled release week, as we'll have that coming up on Thursday. Are we going to do We're going to do another a release party?
100%.
Okay, all right. So we'll be covering the NFL schedule release coming up on Thursday.
Now that I know everything in this room works, which I'm going to be honest with you, that was nervous. There was a nervous hour right before we went on air. So.
Right. So the schedule release will be on Thursday. We'll talk about the NFL coming up in the next hour. Sports Center is coming up next right here on ESPN Asheville as the Sportsocracy continues from the Ingles Studio. Don't forget, Ingles Supermarkets, low prices, love the savings.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, some warmer numbers coming into the forecast here by tomorrow. We made the 70s today. We'll make the 80s tomorrow and Wednesday. Later this week, have an area of low pressure that backs in off the Atlantic and brings some showers in Thursday night and Friday for the late week forecast here. 43 degrees in the valley tonight. Sunshine tomorrow, high of 80 degrees. Sunshine Wednesday, 81. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Maytag. May is Maytag month. So put the hardest working month of the year to work for you and bring home big savings on the Maytag kitchen and laundry appliances you want now through June 1st. Because May is Maytag month. There are so many words they could use to describe Panera's new Chef's Chicken sandwiches. But when you have a bite, you might just be left speechless. Panera, the familiar made fantastic. Enjoy a $1 delivery fee when you order on their app. Restrictions apply.
Whoa, Greg's up.
He's never up this early. Hey, guys.
Okay, so this is called the Bell Breakfast Box from Taco Bell.
Oh, thanks. I can read.
And that's a coffee. Helps you open your eyes.
And that's a breakfast burrito. You can start from either end.
You guys always this condescending in the morning?
Pretty much.
Wake up with the new $5 Bell Breakfast Box, filled with a grande toasted breakfast burrito, hash brown, 2 Cinnabon Delights, and a coffee. At limited participating Taco Bell locations near you during breakfast hours only. Contact local store for prices, hours, and participation, which vary. Tax extra. Drinks excludes freezes.
Want to win $1,000? Well, we hope you've trained those fingers to spring into action. Every hour from 9 to 5 weekdays. Listen for the keywords, then enter them on our website for your chance to get $1,000 in your hand.
Brought to you by Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram and Friendship Nissan.
Hey, auto mechanics, are you underpaid? Get what you're worth at Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram and Friendship Nissan in Forest City. Get a higher flat rate, a 40-hour guarantee based on your experience, plus a sign-in bonus. Apply online at Friendship Nissan and Friendship Jeep Dodge Ram in Forest City.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
I'm Christine Lisi. 2 days after limping off the court in Game 3, Grizzlies star point guard Ja Morant listed as doubtful for Game 4 against the Warriors tonight in that second-round NBA playoff series. Memphis knows how much it relies on Morant, but was also able to win without him in the regular season, winning 20 of the 25 games he missed with injuries. ESPN NBA analyst J.J. Redick.
They're better defensively without Ja Morant. If they can get Desmond Bane going, his usage rate, his stats in those 25 games when Ja was out exceeded what his production levels when Ja was in the game.
Game 4, 9:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio. Former Michigan State star Adrian Payne, the 15th overall pick in the 2014 NBA draft, was shot and killed in Orlando, Florida early this morning. He was 31 years old. A man has been arrested for that shooting. NHL Avalanche start goaltender Pavel Francouz in Game 4 against the Predators tonight in place of the injured Darcy Kemper, 9:30 Eastern, ESPN TV. NFL, the Giants released quarterback James Bradbury after failing to find a trade partner.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
Now your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Cash. That's cash. Enter it on our station website now.
Log on to ESPNABL.com.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sportsocracy. Heard everywhere. Anywhere you go on the iHeart Radio app. We are seen everywhere on YouTube as well. We got the new setup up and running. I don't think we've had any issues, no drop-offs,
So much simpler.
Yeah.
I'm just a big fan of simple.
It's great. We got it all set up here in the Ingles Studio. Always brought to you by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. And we spent the first hour talking about the NBA, and now it's time to talk some NFL. Because, we've had a week to kind of digest the NFL draft and all of that. Now we've got free agency talk, what's left out there. We've got the schedule coming out on Thursday of this week, which we will be having another NFL schedule release spectacular coming up in the Sportsocracy this Thursday. First things first, we're going to have a doubleheader on Monday Night Football, week 2.
We're going to have 2 of them.
See, this is why the NFL is brilliant, because they drop these little nuggets all week long. We'll have another one next. We had the international games all got announced, late last week. And now we've got week 2 is going to have a Monday night doubleheader.
Every week should have a Monday night doubleheader. I am fully of the belief every single Monday night should have a doubleheader. And I think the NFL is eventually going to get to a point where, and I started thinking this when they were talking about the television deal. Mm-hmm. You've got Amazon that's taken over Thursdays. Sunday night's always been its own standalone. ESPN's obviously making the push to have 2 Monday night games, international games. Do you see how they're isolating every game?
Right.
I mean, you're never going to be able to do them all, but they're isolating every game.
Mm-hmm.
Every year they just chip away. Now we have 2 Monday night. Just see how it goes. We'll have 2 doubleheaders. We'll see how the ratings go. And I'll bet you the ratings are going to be ridiculous.
Probably so, because the NFL is a ratings monster. Because it's what people want to see.
Well, I mean, it's just brilliant. The NFL has found a way to keep themselves relevant through no less than 10 and a half months out of the year.
Agreed.
There is virtually no break in the season.
Mm-hmm.
Even today, you're a week out from the draft. Monday night doubleheader, all-pro former cornerback released.
Mm-hmm.
That's a narrative. That's a narrative. All the rest of these sports, they wedge their little spot in the calendar because their season is 9 billion years long.
Right.
Not the NFL.
No. And the NFL also has that whole every game counts thing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have wasted motion. You don't have wasted movement in
and
the
I'm
NFL
telling you
schedule.
right now, you just remember that I said this, and I have no inside knowledge on this. The more dumb things college football does, watch the NFL start pilfering Saturday. They never did it because they didn't want to hurt their product.
Right.
Because the draft is such a big thing, and that's 3 months of their digital content. So you never wanted to hurt that. I'm not so sure they care about that anymore.
Really?
Watching college football go just completely sideways, I'm not sure they care. I'm not sure they care.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't care.
You wouldn't care to
I
have
wouldn't
NFL on
care
Saturday?
in the least.
Okay.
I'll wedge in that little 4 o'clock window. We always called that the Notre Dame window.
Yes.
Because that's where they would kick games off at 2:30, which is the dead period of a college football Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be shocked if the NFL does that. I'm not saying they're going to do it this year. Within the next 5, don't be shocked.
Okay.
And that's where the international games go. Wouldn't shock me in the least.
I really wouldn't hate it, because then you'd give the guys an extra day to travel back, all of that.
And you put them on Thursday night the week before, and then you send them out to play on Saturday. Extra time, little buffer, give them an extra day to get back. Makes all the sense in the world. And there's a bye week the week after.
Right.
It makes too much sense to not do it.
Okay. Monday night doubleheader on week 2, September the 19th, is going to start with the Tennessee Titans against the Buffalo Bills. 7:15 start on ESPN, and then you're going to have.
But what about the West Coast? Nobody cares.
Yeah, what about the West Coast?
Every other sport. Well, we have to start our finals at 9:34 on the eastern seaboard, so people on the West Coast can get home.
Right.
The NFL don't care.
No.
Yeah, because guess what? You'll find a way.
Of course you will.
That's the NFL looks at the West Coast
doubleheader
and the Mountain Time Zone and goes, you know what? You'll figure it out.
Yeah. You've been doing it all this time anyway, so why do we need to change? Because, okay, so we've got an 8:30 kickoff for Monday Night Football. That's 5:30.
Yeah, you'll figure it out.
You'll figure out a way to get off an hour and a half, 2 hours earlier, so you can be home to watch the Monday Night doubleheader. And then, speaking of 8:30, you're going to have that kickoff on ABC, Philadelphia Eagles and the Minnesota Vikings as the second part of the Week 2 doubleheader. Full schedule gets released on Thursday, and I guarantee you, every day this week, you're going to have a different headline of, here's what's coming out on such and such day.
Oh, yeah. And then the schedule release, we'll draw a better number on NFL Network and ESPN than any playoff game in any other sport.
Right.
It's just awe-inspiring to me that you have found a way to make this season span this much time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you another part of this. Something I was thinking about during our little sabbatical. Name me a team in the NFL that has no hope.
It has no hope?
Mm-hmm. Name me a team where your fan base doesn't feel drastically better today than you did 2 months ago.
Houston Texans.
Disagree. Had a killer draft. The more I looked at it, and we'll have team grades for that coming out this week, obviously with the reassembly of the studio. We didn't get those out last week, but we'll get them out this week.
Right.
The Houston Texans had a killer draft.
So? They got
you feel better now.
2 players.
You thought Nick Caserio was a complete dum-dum.
Okay.
You don't now. You don't now. You're looking at the line going, the line's better. The defense got better.
So
we have hope. I'm not saying that you think you're going to make the playoffs. I'm saying I feel better today than I did 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And I'll give you the answer to this. There's not one.
New England
I've gone through the entire league.
New England Patriots.
You've still got Bill. Delusional Patriots fans will go, oh, Bill knows what he's doing. It's fine. We're drafting quarterbacks in the 4th round. No big deal.
There's always hope as long as Bill Belichick is around. I see what you're saying.
And we have another super chat from our buddy Tyler Cunningham that said, early record predictions for the Jets. That's the team that got me thinking about this. Obviously, I'm a Jets fan.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about this. They crushed the draft. I would argue they're the 3rd best team in their own division now. And Bart Scott agrees with me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he went drastically overboard compared to where I did. He said their roster is drastically better than New England's. Yeah, I don't know that I'd go there.
Drastically better? No.
I think it's better.
It's better.
I think they're better.
Not drastically better.
That's the incredible part of...
Because I still don't feel like your quarterback's drastically better.
Oh, I do.
Oh, I know you.
Oh,
do. I know you have all the faith in the world in old Zach Wilson.
Did you see the pictures of Zach that came out this week?
No.
He looks like a Terminator. He looks insanely good.
So he's been hitting the weight room.
Yeah. I don't think a kid's left a weight room since the season ended. Why does that make me feel better? I couldn't tell you because it doesn't really mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I do feel better.
Rob Johnson says, looked at my team's opponents. It looks like another losing season for his Washington Commanders.
But even Washington, now you have weapons. The defense was good a couple years ago. I can do this with every team. I went through every team in the league and went, I can find the silver lining. I don't care who you are.
Right.
Even if you know the Atlanta Falcons, well, Desmond Ridder could be the guy. And if he's not, a year from now, we're going to have the chance to take the real guy.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, there might be 9 quarterbacks going the first round next year.
I've been seeing that. Like, I've been going through, like, mock drafts trying to figure out, and it's, you know, there are 7 different quarterbacks, it feels like, in each one of the mocks that you go through. And
well, there's 3
and
I can guarantee.
And none of them are in any specific order.
No, Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud are in specific order. I have yet to see anybody with an IQ above salad dressing that didn't have them in the top 3.
Will Levis was number 1 in a mock that I saw today.
Okay, I'm going to go back to that. Does this person have an IQ above salad dressing?
I don't know. I don't know if they do or not, but it's from a reputable major sports network.
Yeah, that doesn't always mean anything. And look, I like Will Levis. I do. I was doing my 23 mock draft, and I went, good gracious, there are 9 guys that would have been the number 1 quarterback in this class.
Yeah. Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Will Levis, Tyler Van Dyke
Phil
is on a lot of them. I have yet to see his name on a mock draft.
Yeah, you ain't paying much attention. I've seen him in the top 10 twice today.
Really?
I'm not going to lie. I forgot about him for a minute, and then I saw his name and went, good Lord, there's going to be 100 quarterbacks going this draft.
Anthony Richardson.
I don't understand that one. I don't get that.
I don't either.
That's one of those, every year we talk about when we do the too early mock draft, it's guys like him that are the reason they look so stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Because there is nothing you could possibly have seen in him that says, oh, yeah, he's a top 10 pick.
Oh, he's got a hell of an arm and he's mobile.
Okay.
Is he, though? Because I don't think he threw the ball more than 20 times last year at Florida.
In any game.
Right.
And he was splitting snaps with Emory Jones. So, okay, let's calm down on the Anthony Richardson thing.
Exactly. There's just, it's good to look ahead sometimes just to see what's out there.
Oh, I'm already geeked for next year's draft.
Oh my god,
we are only 351 days away. NFL Draft 2023.
That's probably right, too, isn't
it? No, but it's close. It's so much better of a class.
Every NFL team has hope at this point, is what you're saying.
There's no team that looks at it and goes, well, we're just doomed. I would have said Houston.
Yeah.
You had a really good draft weekend.
Yeah.
Jacksonville.
It's not going to matter,
I would have said
though.
Jacksonville. Oh, you feel like we're just dead. Do you, though? That defense is going to be markedly better.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's going to be really young, and there will be games where you just get scattered, smothered, and covered. But you have infused a ton of talent to that team.
everybody has hope for something, just for being better, not for being a playoff team, because obviously Houston Texans are not in the playoff discussion.
I just look at it and
Atlanta
go, how many
Falcons
teams in the league look at it and go, we are completely dead in the water. We have no shot of making the playoffs. How many are in the AFC?
I'd say maybe 3.
It's 2.
Off the top of my head.
It's 2.
2 of them, that's it?
The Texans and the Jaguars. You tell me the other team in that conference that goes, nope, not making the playoffs. If you say the Jets, I'm going to laugh at you until I piddle in my pants.
Yeah, not
Jets fans think they're going to win the Super Bowl.
Let's
so
stop that.
The roster is drastically better.
No. I mean, yes, it is. I'm just saying, stop it with the Super Bowl
and that's
talk.
what I'm saying is, yes, that is comically stupid.
Right.
But even you look in the NFC, there's not many teams that think they're just dead. The Lions, you probably know you're not making the playoffs. The Falcons, you know you're not making the playoffs.
Not part of the plan.
The Seahawks. That's 5 teams in this entire league that their fan base, even the most rational of fans, are not going, we can make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
We can make the playoffs. Wouldn't be that shocking.
The Giants, I'd put them in that category.
There are people that think the Giants are the best team in the NFC East.
And
a lot of them.
And I'll say those people are stupid.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I know the NFC East is the one division I look at and go, you could convince me of practically anything.
The Giants are still the worst team in that division, in my opinion.
And I don't know that I agree with you. I really don't know that I agree with you.
You think it's the Washington Commanders?
I don't know who it is. That's the one division that I'm telling you right now. You could convince me of anything you wanted to.
Those are your only 2 choices. It's not the Dallas Cowboys or the Philadelphia Eagles.
I could convince myself of any of that.
Really?
Jalen Hurts is a disaster. Okay. So you added A.J. Brown. Cool. You added him to a quarterback that can't throw.
Mm-hmm.
Worst team in the division. Flip side of that. Jalen Hurts, now he has weapons. They're going to be able to run the ball. And the defense is 10 times better than they were. Best team in the division.
But that's one of
Dallas
those that
Cowboys.
you'd pull the plug on Jalen Hurts.
For what?
Don't they still have Gardner?
No, he's just hanging out.
Then
he's been mentioned to practically every team that drafted a quarterback in the NFL. But I mean, go down the division. Dallas Cowboys. We have the best quarterback in the division.
Mm-hmm.
Flip side of that, you also lost more than anybody in this division, and it's not even kind of close.
Right.
And you had the worst draft of any team in this division. Worst team in the division.
Mm-hmm.
New York Giants. Brian Daboll, period. Shane has a great draft. Team wasn't untalented to begin with. And Daniel Jones takes a step forward. Best team in the division. Nah, Daniel Jones is terrible, and we tap out midway through the year. Worst team in the division.
Yeah.
Washington looks at it and goes, well, all we have to do, the defense has to be what it was a year ago. Now we've got Carson Wentz, who's the best quarterback we've had since at least Alex Smith. Might be further back than that.
Mm-hmm.
Best team in the division. And defense is what it was last year, and Carson Wentz does what he does and gets hurt. Worst team in the division.
Yeah.
That's the only division in the entire league that I look at that way.
Okay. All right. I feel like that's a 2-horse race. I think it's between Dallas and Philadelphia, and yeah, I mean the Giants could be improved.
I think they're
could be improved.
They're 4 birds of the same feather.
Mm-hmm.
I won't be shocked if no team in that division wins more than 10 games and no team loses more than 10 games. I could see all 4 of them being between 10-7 and 7-10.
Yep.
And somebody miraculously comes out and makes the playoffs. Wouldn't shock me in the least.
All right, well, the Giants have made a move today. They made a roster move today. They've cut loose a very familiar name to Carolina Panthers fans. We'll tell you who that is, where he may land, coming up next, right here on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Well, some warmer numbers coming into the forecast here by tomorrow. We made the 70s today. We'll make the 80s tomorrow and Wednesday. Later this week, have an area of low pressure that backs in off the Atlantic and brings some showers in Thursday night and Friday for the late week forecast here. 43 degrees in the valley tonight. Sunshine tomorrow, high of 80 degrees. Sunshine Wednesday, 81. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slowing 26 westbound west of Airport Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. 40 westbound Haywood County, stop and go between Fines Creek Road and Harmondin Road. Near Avery Creek, Boulevard Road northbound approaching Long Shoals Road, delays. Sweeten Creek Road north and southbound approaching Mills Gap Road, light delays. Mills Gap Road is moving well and Cane Creek Road problem free. Check of the drive time from Biltmore Forest to Fletcher via Hendersonville Road southbound, drive time 16 minutes. I'm Lyndon Peel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Finding a great hire can be a challenge. That's why there's Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 toward your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
I'm Michelle V. Woodhouse for Congress, and I authorized this message.
Madison Cawthorn has self-destructed and cannot win the race for Congress. That's why true mountain conservatives are now moving to support America First conservative Michelle Woodhouse. Conservatives understand that Michelle Woodhouse is our only chance to keep our congressional seat in conservative hands. A vote for Madison Cawthorn is a wasted vote that could allow an establishment politician like Chuck Edwards to win our seat. That's why it's so important that conservatives unite behind Michelle Woodhouse now. Michelle Woodhouse will fight against Joe Biden's socialist agenda, and Michelle Woodhouse is the only candidate who can win in November. This race is coming down to two people, conservative Michelle Woodhouse versus Chuck Edwards, who is the establishment candidate. In other words, Chuck Edwards is just like Richard Burr and Adam Kinzinger. Conservatives, the choice is clear. Michelle Woodhouse for Congress, paid for by Michelle V. Woodhouse for Congress.
Whoa, Greg's up.
He's never up this early.
Hey, guys.
Okay, so this is called the Bell Breakfast Box from Taco Bell.
Oh, thanks. I can read.
And that's a coffee. Helps you open your eyes.
And that's a breakfast burrito. You can start from either end.
You guys always this condescending in the morning?
Pretty much.
Wake up with the new $5 Bell Breakfast Box, filled with a grande toasted breakfast burrito, hash brown, 2 Cinnabon Delights, and a coffee. At limited participating Taco Bell locations near you during breakfast hours only. Contact local store for prices, hours, and participation, which vary. Tax extra. Drinks excludes freezes.
Aw, you didn't have to go so all out for my birthday.
Yes, we did. Because birthdays are about showing your friends how much you care for them and how grateful you are for their... This is Jamie from Progressive. No, this is a great time. Progressive protects you 24/7. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sorry that happened.
Jamie.
Can you hold on one second? I gotta take this call, but remember, birthdays are about togetherness.
Contact us 24/7 on the phone, online, or on the mobile app. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, covered subject to policy terms.
I think it's just vapor. Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Now is the time to get in the driver's seat of your career. Ingles Markets is looking for new regional drivers to join our Land to Sky distributors fleet. Start with 2 weeks paid time off and paid holidays. Our drivers average over $80,000 per year and they're home every week. Land to Sky offers excellent pay and a great benefits package. 6 months of CDLA driving experience is required to apply. Visit ingles-markets.com/careers to know more. That's ingles-markets.com/careers.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling?
Because I love football.
Welcome back into the Ingles Studio on ESPN Asheville. And James Bradberry, former Carolina Panther, has been released by the New York Giants. Once one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL. I mean, did make a Pro Bowl. Of course, I get that there's not a lot to say for making Pro Bowls sometimes. But still, James Bradberry, Pro Bowler, now on the open market. They had to make the cost-cutting move as he was going to be $22 million against the salary cap this year for them.
Well, they tried aggressively to move him. Mm-hmm. And he's still a very good player. He just fits into a very specific kind of scheme. Mm-hmm. And it's not what Buffalo is, or
New York.
Buffalo and New York, the Giants and the Bills have blended into the same team in my head. I can't see a way he doesn't end up in Philadelphia. I don't see it. It makes entirely too much sense.
Okay.
That's the one position they did not address early on.
Mm-hmm.
You get him for on a song, and he plays opposite Darius Slay. Best team in the division.
Best team in the division.
I have a feeling I'm going to do that for the next 6 months. I made a ton of futures bets while I was at Harrah's.
Oh, okay.
That was the one that I looked at and went, I got nothing. I have absolutely nothing that I will feel good about.
Oh, in the NFC East?
Nothing. But Bradbury's still a good player in very zone-heavy schemes.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard a few teams mention about him. Seattle doesn't make sense. They're too committed with Kobe Bryant and Tariq Woolen, which, by the way, Seattle, I talk more smack about you than any team in the league.
Yep.
I loved your draft a lot.
I've heard Las Vegas mentioned in connection with James Bradbury as well, that he could, they've got a need at corner.
And he makes sense because of the Patrick Graham connection. I wouldn't hate that. I'm just not sure he's not going to want to stick it to the Giants.
Right.
And Philadelphia makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But those would be my two primary locations for him.
Okay. So Philadelphia, there's already been talk, of course, in the Carolina Panthers fan base of bringing him back to Carolina.
Why? Why in the world would you do that?
I don't know.
You are more committed at corner than any position on the entire roster.
Yeah, but you get a vet in the building to come in and with C.J. Henderson and with the guy that they drafted, J.C. Horn. So it makes a lot of sense. I don't know if you have the money for that. Because it depends on what kind of deal he's gonna garner.
Well, and you're going to see a lot of things drum up now. Now that we're on the backside of the compensation formula, which happened the Monday after the draft, once I think it's 4 o'clock rolled around, now everything you do does not play into the compensation formula. So there are a lot of guys that are still out there that can be high-level players.
Mm-hmm.
I look at Trey Flowers. Who's going to sign him, and why is it the New England Patriots?
Right. Go back to New England.
Jadeveon Clowney.
Mm-hmm.
He just loves doing this. He loves being the best player left for 6 months.
I don't think so. I'm going to go out on a limb and say you're wrong. I don't think he enjoys this at all. I'm sure he would much rather have some stability and have a contract. But is he that guy? Is he that guy to commit to a long-term contract? And I think the overwhelming narrative is no, he's not. The Cleveland Browns got him last year late in the offseason, and this may just be he's the hired gun. He's the guy that you work out everything else on your team and go, we still kind of need an impact edge rusher, so yeah, let's bring in Jadeveon Clowney.
I would say Cleveland's probably out on him. After they committed half their draft capital to the defensive line, I think that was a real nice way of saying, it's fine.
Right, we're good.
Jadeveon,
we're moving on.
We're on to other players.
Speaking of the Cleveland Browns moving on, they are apparently shutting the door on bringing back Jarvis Landry, which I think they're fine at wide receiver right now. So
I heard a name with Jarvis Landry while we were off, and it was the first time I'd heard it, and it was from somebody that I really trust.
Okay.
Watch the Baltimore Ravens sign him.
Oh, yeah.
Watch the Baltimore Ravens sign him. It makes too much sense.
Mm-hmm. That's been growing the past couple of days of that. I mean, that would give another short target to Lamar Jackson. I don't buy into any of this, narrative that Lamar Jackson can't throw thing. I think that has been dispelled in my book. And
he's still not somebody that's just going to sit in the pocket and beat you. But that team is terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that's the team that the most people are sleeping on. I've seen odds on Baltimore that are just dumbfounding. They're like the 9th most likely team to win the Super Bowl in the AFC.
Yeah, that's
dumb.
Stupid. Yeah, that's dumb. They should be top 4 or 5 in the AFC, probably top
That's a
6
weird way
in
of
the
saying
NFL.
3. It gets hard once you get past Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Who's
Kansas
2?
City.
I don't know that I agree with you.
You'd still have Kansas City in that area.
I don't know that I agree with you. And look, I still like Kansas City. But, I mean, you got to look at that division, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
You got to look at that schedule. Mm-hmm. Their schedule is disgusting. And now we don't know what order they're going to happen in, but there are not many, hey, we get Jacksonville this week. There's not a lot of that on that schedule.
Cincinnati is the overall favorite right now to win the division, so they have to be ahead of the Baltimore Ravens in any Super Bowl talk or AFC Championship talk. and then I'm thin. And then I'm thin after that. That's why
This
I
will
said
probably
top 4
be
or 5.
This will probably be the and look, we talk in terms of ratings a lot because that is one of the best benchmarks that you can use.
Mm-hmm.
This could be the highest rated NFL season of all time by a considerable amount. There's no fan base that goes into the season going, I have no reason to watch. And last year you had 8. I would say there's a quarter of the league that knew they were just going to be terrible.
Right.
You don't have that now. All right, fun game. Who's the worst team in the NFL?
Houston Texans.
I don't know that I agree with you. I don't know that I agree with you.
Really?
They get Jacksonville. There are at least light spots of that schedule. I don't see that. There's one team that I look at and go, man, this is going to age bad for you. And it's the Chicago Bears. That's the team I look at and go, okay, you do have a young quarterback, and that will carry you quite a ways.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see much else that I'm just really happy about. Especially after your draft where you're like, did we forget receiver? Do we just hate Justin Fields?
Right. All right, it's time to get weird.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
Oh, there was a bank robbery up in New York, and thankfully it has, the community being put on alert of a bank robber in the area has been put to rest because the Waverly police quickly solved the crime. So it allegedly happened around 10:38 a.m. on Friday, and they found their suspect not far from the bank, because it was an 83-year-old woman. 83-year-old Edna Jane Hallett was arrested by Waverly police not too far away from the bank because she robbed the bank, allegedly, and fled on foot. They found her a block away. And here's the thing. The robbery took place at about 10:38. Police, they didn't get there for about 35 minutes. And she had made it an entire block. I think there should be an age limit to the bank robbery game. I don't know what the end game was for Mrs. Hallett, but I guess at this point, when you get that old, who cares? Who cares what's going to happen? What are they going to do to me? Throw me in jail? She will be the coolest granny on the block in jail.
In the first hour, I told you of an 82-year-old man that lived my dream.
Mm-hmm.
He made 2 hole-in-ones in the same day. Well, Gary and Patty Reitmeyer of California, they live my nightmare. They live in Redding, California, and they live in a home that they've lived in for 30 years. And they just went on a week-long vacation, and they got their neighbor to feed their cat. Well, about 14 hours before they were due to arrive home, the neighbor went to feed the cat and found a startling discovery. There were 20 birds in the house. 20 birds is bad. Okay, 20 birds is bad, and for me, the birds now own the house. This is now no longer my house. I'm signing over the deed to the birds because this house is now dead to me. Well, 14 hours later, when the Reitmeyers got to their home, now there were hundreds of swallows in their house, and they didn't know what to do. They got home, and there were hundreds of birds. The pictures are insane. There are birds everywhere.
Yikes.
And nobody can figure out how they got in, which means they called ServPro, who got the birds out of the home. They are now staying with their daughter in Sacramento because, according to Gary, you can't get all the bird stuff out of the furniture. That's his exact verbatim quote.
Okay.
They don't know how the birds got in. So that means even though you got the birds out, that doesn't mean that new birds couldn't find their way back in however the original birds got in.
There wasn't a window left open?
They think it could be the chimney, but there's a cap in the chimney.
Fine.
You know, the little copper fitting that goes in the top of it.
Yeah.
There is one of those there. But swallows are very small birds.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a thought that maybe they found a way to finagle their way through that. Yikes. I would had to have burned this house down. Like, okay, get the birds out. I'm not going to kill the birds, but this house is forever unclean.
The birds own the house now.
Yeah, this house is forever unclean. I can never sleep. I will never sleep